All right, I had to come back in. This is, yeah, it this whole glitch thing that it does. I tried to get your chat back. I guess it's allowing me to start over without having to go all the way in. And y'all let me know if you can see this. Those of y'all that want to tune back in, I know I had some that's wondering what's going on. I don't know what's going on. We had some glitches. I don't know if I take that as the cue to end right there. Okay, the chat is working now. Chat is working. All right. I had to start all back over again, you all, for another live. They had to start over again. Whoever it is in the chat, if you are able to let me know that you all are able to get into the chat, it just allowed me to reboot for some reason. So if this is I have to label it as part 2. I lost that one, and so those who all that may tune in, you all still have 30 minutes of asking any health questions that you can. Meanwhile, tomorrow, rather St. Louis light rain expecting it tomorrow morning. Okay, just got the forecast. It's going to rain again. Meanwhile, I'm going to do commercial, and you all just know that for this Wellness Wednesday, still have colon cleanse, your 30-day supply. Once again, good for lowering cholesterol, lowering blood pressure, aids with weight loss, promotes heart health. It's considered a prebiotic which promotes gut health, promotes healthy bowel movements, enhances digestive health, and regulates blood sugar. You all see that? Blood sugar in the body also relieves irritable bowel syndromes, boosts the immunity in the body, and is high in fiber. That's what this colon cleanse does. You take it in an 8-ounce glass of water, you all, or pure juice, and you drink it down within the first couple of minutes. And this will help aid you with having a good, smooth bowel movement without constipation. So I had to start over, you all, and go right into another segment before we run out of time. So anyone have any questions concerning this, then this is $40 a bag, and this could be shipped to you this week. First, the next shipment goes out on Monday, possibly even sooner than that. It'll be regular shipping and handling for your 2 bags of colon purifier, you all. And then I still have the flake sea moss, you all. I sprinkle those inside of my watermelon, and my watermelon takes, and it has it gives like a salt, like a little salty flavor to it. But then you can also sprinkle it into some smoothies, into your salad, into your homemade dressings, into your soups and chilies and all the good stuff. And so this is one way of getting it in, and you only need a teaspoon of it. It's so potent. I have the purple kind, you all, and this also is for $40 as well, and that's a month supply, you all. It has an opening tab, which I'm about to show you how the tab opens, because I had to get my moringa, use my moringa. You open up the tab, and then you open it up, and then you're able to use it, and then seal it right back without no problem. And so I take it and I use this in my moringa, you all. It is on sale. Let it go for $25. The moringa, you cannot beat. You only use a teaspoon of this in water, or you can put it into your smoothie as well. I sprinkle it in my food. I get it in, you all, when I need it. And this moringa also is good for reducing inflammation, skin, hair growth, tumors, male libido functioning, lowering blood sugar. It's good for all of the above, and it's so gentle on the body. This is what I use, you all, for one of my clients that was in that unfortunately the diabetes got to a place where they had to have the leg amputated. I shared that on Monday because I blended Monday with Wellness Wednesday, another free coaching for you all. And this is what we use: the seeded watermelon with a teaspoon of the moringa to help cleanse and boost the system and lower the blood pressure. So if only these 2 items are taken with seeded watermelon, then I'm telling you now, lower the blood sugar level, and also it'll help clear your bladder for those of y'all that have a strong urine issues because you've been drinking too much soda or you've been taking in too much yeast and meat and you smell the strong smell of urine. You can also sprinkle this. This can also be given to children. At the age of 6 months, you can sprinkle a little bit in their baby food, sprinkle a little bit there, grind it up, and they'll be good to go. And this will help cleanse their gut out as well. So this is good. There are those who have asked me if whether or not you could use the sea moss for children. I wouldn't recommend no more than a pinch. If you're going to do it in the kids food, I would recommend no more than a pinch. And you don't have to do that every day. Maybe every couple of days is what I recommend. For children that have issues with the colon, that are overweight and obese, same thing. I only recommend 1 to 2 glasses of that if you can get them to drink it or to mix it into their no glycemic oatmeal or cream of wheat, whatever it is that you use, the cereals. I know some of y'all are still on cereals. You can still put that inside of that if that's what you use and that's what you're still eating, and it will still help with bowel movements and elimination even with children. So I try to make sure that everything I have is kids friendly, and I'll let you know if it's something that I sell that's not kid friendly. And I also still have the powerful extra strength B12, you all. For now, going for $30, you all. The B12. I'm almost out of stock of these too. I have to recover still from the theft of over $1,000 worth of products, you all, that were in my vehicle at the time. By the time I came back, they were gone. And the chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll is good for cleansing the gut, gives you a good odor because it's got a little bit of peppermint smell in it. So when you sweat and when you have a bowel movement, after taking the chlorophyll, 1 drop in the water, some like to take it orally. That's fine. Just be careful not to make sure that your teeth are not green because it is powerfully green. These are the abstract from your green leafy vegetables, okay? Or green leafy plants, rather. And so the enzymes, and oh my God, inside of chlorophyll really does help to help you with elimination. It helps with inflammation in the gut. It helps tremendously with making sure that you all are able to get a really good cleanse. So I highly recommend that. And so now to the books. Thank you all for coming back. Hey there, Sister Thomas. It's so good to see you. You all got to stroll back. And I did a very important talk about bereavement and how and the condolences to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's daughter-in-law of 40-something years of life, altogether 52, because she met her husband at 11 years old when they were 11, the passing of his daughter-in-law and the sensitivity of us not feeling like we have to know what's going on with it, but to know that they are human and that we are supposed to be respectful to anytime someone has lost a loved one. I know what that feels like to have people to give lip service and not truly show real heartfelt concern when you lose loved ones. And then I know the difference between those who really truly do care. I was just pleading and asking in the beginning for those of you all that's tuning in now to just be mindful of that. Don't allow social media and likes and shares and all this other stuff to make you be insensitive. No matter what you do, people can see straight through it. There are many that can see straight through it. Doesn't matter. Some people tune in just to see how much of a fool that some of us will make out of ourselves. Now keep that in mind. The more of the likes on the social media comes from foolish things than it does for those things that's righteous. Think about it. All right, you all. So I was promoting still how to eat to live book is for those who I could see that its practices has still had added 20, 30 years plus on their lives, if not been passing for something else other than good health. And even in this book, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, he still recommends and states that eating fruits and vegetables is the ultimate way of living a healthy life, and even fasting, not intermittent fasting, but actually fasting. They even teach how to do that as well. So I stated that I would in the beginning share some of the books that I recommend that you all can learn from and to apply it according to your lifestyle, what works for you, because different things work for different people. because we all have our little different types of unique makeups. And you'll find out even in the vitamin book, this is one of my favorite books, you'll find out that she breaks down even for different people with different ethnic background. This is a sister that has written this with Dr. Pokhran, holistic philosopher. She's a surgical and genealogical training and has 10 years of odyssey into wellness therapy and techniques. She's my God, the way she breaks down things in this book. I've shared this before. The vitamin and minerals from A to Z is a jewel, which her name is. Her first name is Jewel Bookham. Jewel Bookham is her name, Bookrum. And I thumbed through this book. You can tell I put some work in on it. And the minerals, even according to our levels of melanation that's in us or our ethnic background, she has broken down, even down to the light bulbs, you all. What kind of lights are good for those of us who have bad vision? Get this book. I recommend it. I said I would share some of my nuggets, some of my gold nuggets that I learned more so with the practicing of this health and wellness with myself, family, and others, and clients more so than I have even from a book. But I will say that there are certain principal key things in these books, especially concerning gut health, vitamins and minerals, and how to eat, that I have learned from some of these. And then we have another book called The Heal Thyself Cookbook. Now, this one is good by Diana. What's that? Kokanee? Kaikanoi. I could be pronouncing that name right, but I'm going to spell it. It's spelled Ciccone. So that's the book that I recommend as well too. It has good cookbook recipes. Of course, I have my own recipes, and so I don't necessarily have to use them, but I will say that there are some good recipes in this book as well. And then we also have the Dick Gregory Natural Diet for folks who eat. This has been a very fun book for a lot of people. They like this book. I hadn't got a chance to thumb completely through it, but the few things I had was very for instance, let's talk about the bloodstream, the transmitting of food throughout the body. So it was still, and the lymphatic system, the fluids in the body for that, the filtering of the system. It really goes into deep about the importance of the way our body processes things. And then as you can see, this for us melanated people, for the most part, it works. So this is a good read as well. And then we have our very controversial four blood types and four diets. Eat right by your blood type. This is one of my other books that I have gone through. No, I do not go along and support a lot of the meat that they recommend in there from Dr. Peter J.D. Adamo. However, I will say that personally, when I tried this before I learned about the How to Eat to Live book from the Elijah Muhammad, I will say that I found that 80% exempting the meat. 80%, I'll say 80 to 90% of the food I'll say 90% of the food that was recommended for my blood type, which is universal. That's enough. That's all I can tell y'all. I shared it before, but you guys have to go back in the archives to find out again. I don't feel like sharing that this right now. Which is universal. I found that it does agree with my body. Okay. I have found that it really does agree with my body a lot. What I do see that it has left out of that book by Dr. Peter J.D. Adamo with Catherine Whitley is that it left out too much of the lacking of, well, it didn't leave it out, but a lot of emphasis need to be still put on walking, exercising, the importance of the environment, the water intake. It did leave out that. So those are the things that you want to implement in with having common sense to know that no, it's not just in the foods that you eat. That is a major component. However, how you exercise, your environment matters, and your spirituality matters. How you view yourself, how much confidence that you have in that you do, speaking life and not just death over the things that is challenging to you, such as your health, such as your mental health, such as your spiritual health. All of those things matter. You can't leave out one without the other. It's like a puzzle, putting together puzzles. I don't know about you all, but I used to like doing puzzles when I was a girl. I did good with sticking to myself and finding something creative. My mind was all, I'm sure you all can tell. My mind was always going, trying to put something together, or I like the crossword puzzles. I like connecting dots. And yes, it can be time consuming, but that's what worked for me. I like learning. And so now I've just simply applied it to health and wellness. I simply applied it to a healthier way of thinking in life. I've simply applied it to how we should treat one another with love and kindness as much as possible. And then there are times when you will face it in your life where you have to learn how to stand your ground, because there's too many, especially for women today, that if you're too kind, if you're too loving, that's the antidote to be taken full advantage of. And I too have experienced that as well too. But as you can see, because I learned how to stand my ground, I learned the power of just saying no. Like I told one of my clients yesterday for the consultation, I told him, look, you have to learn how to tell the doctor no to drugs. And he just thought that was so funny. You tell them just say no. That y'all ran the campaign, and like that's the part that's, oh my God, it's crazy just thinking about it. Think about it. When they ran the campaign, just say no to drugs. They ran that campaign while offering prescription drugs. While excluding out drugs. And that's exactly what you see on social media today, if you really think about it, you all. We actually see people actually telling you to say no to certain things while they're saying yes to everything else. And while they're making exceptions for things that are not good, whether it be people, whether it be another place, whether it be another thing. We actually try and separate the good from the bad, but then we will make an exception for that we like. And that's not good, you all. We have to do a better job at balancing out things. So even though I'm talking chitty chatting up, y'all, I am open for questions. If not, I have to tune out, because technically, outside of the glitch that they just had, I am almost 2 hours in 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, you all, that'll be it for any questions. I'm taking it that some is tuning in later, or have busy schedules that normally would ask questions, or that um, you all are just happy to see me, and I'm happy to see you all too, because I was not tuned in on my regular time the last couple of weeks, thanks to hospital duties for two new clients that were in the same hospital at the same time, and I shared that also on Motivational Monday, which I also combined the free health coaching with. And so I'm just gonna sit back, and I'm just gonna wait you all until then. I already showed you all which products. You all know, got the Moringa Steel, $25. Still have the Flake Sea Moss. It helps with 102 minerals that the whole body need. And I already shared that we have the colon cleanse for the colon, the gut cleanse, which I highly encourage you all to make sure that you do that before the quote unquote flu season kicks in. Get the cleansing, start the cleansing now. Start practicing fasting now. I highly encourage you all, again, to those you all that have friends, family, loved ones that have forms. It's therapeutic, especially if you are retired and you're tuning in, or you don't have to work all the time. Get together, get that garden going. I just encouraged one of my god aunties. I call her my god auntie. I just encouraged her to get her garden going. I told her I'll help. I sure did. I said I'll help. I will help. I love put my hand into the earth. Don't let nobody fool you. I love put my hand into the earth. It's not just about dressing up and looking cute. Honey, I am one of those ones, may I tell the truth and go to heaven? I don't care if I got on some heels. Give me some knee pads, give me something to lay down there, and I will put my hands into that dirt. Do you hear me? Into that soil to connect to that earth. Yes, I will, because I see that as Mother Earth is what God has given us to live by. Is what He has given us that creates gravity for us to be able to stand today, to be able to go to work, to be able to deal with your family, in order to be able to, we're standing on the ground where we're able to be who we are. My goodness, that's something to respect. Can you just imagine just looking at your floor when you walk into your home or wherever you're at? You're like, you know what, floor, I don't need you today. And then the floor just disappear because you say it don't this. Can you imagine how deep you're gonna fall? Okay, I guess my brain's going too far. Imagine if we actually, if things disappeared that we didn't appreciate. Right now, we only seem to kind of like experience that if you all on a car door payment and the repo man come and take your card, and that's not. I'm not laughing at that. I am not. Or if somebody steals your car, you know how awful you feel when you're just thinking about how you was just not. You might have just was riding and thinking, "Oh, I'd be glad when I get another car," or you could have been not just taking it for granted, you know. And then wow, somebody come and take it. And then now somebody, oh man, I needed to get back on. I cannot believe. That's how we have to see the earth, you all. That's how we have to see learning how to eat to live. Think about if you woke up and there was no food, none, and all the grocery stores was closed. I guarantee you, then everybody would go on the hunt. Even if you had the ability to walk a mile, you would walk a mile trying to find some food. You wouldn't just sit there and starve. No, you wouldn't. We would say that there's something mentally wrong with you. So let's not wait, is what I'm saying. Let's not wait until it gets to that time and that space where we have to miss the good that we do have here on this earth. Take advantage of it now. Utilize it for what we should utilize it for, is what I have to say. And what I'm going to say is, I know I have to get back on track with you all. You all have to get used to me, because now next time around this happened, I'm going to try to schedule earlier so that I'm not getting too off track with coming before you all, because I know people have to get back used to the fact that I'm tuning back in. I had those that were asking where I was. I don't like when that happens, but nevertheless, because I had urgent. It was such a pressing matter, and the client was constantly calling for me to come. They wanted me to talk to the nurses, talk to the doctors, and things of that nature. I felt compelled to do so, and I just felt that you all would really truly understand once I came back before you all and told you all what was taking place. It just so happens that it happened right as I had fallen off with having over $1,000 worth of my products stolen. And that's the reason why I was asking for, if it's those you all that want to send donations, to send donations. Every bit helps. This is what I do full time for now. I do not do anything else more so than I do take care of my people and come before you all to give these consultations, because I can't predict when someone is going to call and is going to be sick. I can't predict when I'm going to have to do hours and hours of consultations and help navigate somebody out of the hospital, or to help them to avoid having to go in the first place. I can't. So this is what I'm saying, is that this is our own call job, is what it's like. It's a career, and it is truly a ministry to me as well still. But it is indeed. I'm putting the Cash App information in there, you all, for those you all that want to send to be a help for products development, still giving. Even when I've been stolen from, I do not allow that to stop me from giving, you all. I may not can give as much as my heart's desire, but I still give, because it's still a blessing in giving than just only receiving. And one of these days, for those who's not, hold on, is it freezing up? I froze up. I put the Cash App information in there. And for those of you all that's tuning in now and that will tune in later, that got a chance to see that I did come back, you can still call in for a consultation. Those of you all that know that has been followers, I did not exclude you all. I was excluding for new clients. I called the ones that was new because I hadn't heard from them in a few years. Health coaching sessions, I have a deal going on, you all, that they are $25 per session. That can range from 30 minutes and depending on the severity. So for $100, you all, you can get up to 4 consultations within a month. Can't beat that. And that could be for yourself, a family member, or a family member or a spouse. And so I have that going where for the month, or if you feel like you only need 2 sessions, then you can split that in half and that'll be $50. If you feel like you just need one, then that's just one session for $25. So that is the special that we have going on for the month of August. And I'm doing this in the honor of my mother and my father passing. My father's anniversary of passing was yesterday. And I did good, you all. You all would have been very, very proud of me. And if you're not, then I am. That I made it through, because every year it was really, really hard. And I guess it's been the 9th year. I've just learned how to appreciate the fact that God has given me strength to still press forward without hearing his voice. That's the voice that I miss, my father's voice. Um, yeah. And I'm just thankful that I have good memories of him. And it just so happened, ironically, my uncle that he was raised up with, which was my mother's oldest brother, he passed also some years beforehand. My uncle Orlando Jones passed the same day. And then I also have to encounter the same anniversary, 3 years, marking 3 years of my mom on the 22nd of this month. So you all keep me in prayers as I keep you all in prayers as we make it through the process. My family is slowly but surely healing. I still have to get that phone call from siblings that is remembering these moments and still apologizing if they say her name or they say certain things, and they wonder if whether or not it's shift our day because of mentioning things on social media or for saying things. That's just like one of my sisters did yesterday. She posted a video of my mother singing a song that she made up. And she was a songwriter and a songstress too. And she immediately just thought to put on there how she apologized if it made any of our day too emotional, because my mother was feeling good during that time. And that was her favorite thing to do, is to sit down and they had what they call the karaoke. They had the karaoke machine going with the music, and she could just right off the back just think of a really good song, and that she could that's how her brain worked, where she could just off back just write a song in her head. And she'd been doing it since she was a little girl, with her uncles and her other siblings and with her aunties. And so yes, we have that ability too, and sometimes we will. But that was a joyous one for us. It's like she wrote a song speaking of what the cares and the pressure of life that was on her. But yet her spin was always, her conclusion was that everything was going to be all right, that their help came from God. And so I just wanted to share that with you all so that you all know that during these times, I have to give back consultations to help another mother, another father, another auntie, another uncle, and also my mother's younger sister passed on August the 22nd as well. So go figure. Um, I don't know how that works, and I hear that happens a lot with big families. Um, so yeah, I take it that I'm going to do a lot better this year than I did the last few years, with thinking about it. I may shed a tear, but I believe it'll be tears of joy because I can't imagine. It's not until you experience things, you all, that I'm learning that, you don't know what's in you. Some of us don't know what's in us until we experience it. You can say all day long what it is that we will do and what you won't do until you have to go through it. And so now, years later, I could see the strength of my mother and my father in me. On top of the strength of God, um, I used to think that type of force could only come with when you're married or when you're together. And I've heard it from others as well, that when you really connect with God, there's nothing that you cannot accomplish. When you really connect with your ancestors and with those who have left great impacts over your life, there's nothing that can really conquer that. Because you have your most memory. Hey, sister, you have your most memory with those who birth you. Think about it. The most of your memories with those who birthed you, and with those who have raised you. At least for me, that's the case. I don't know about you all, but I know for me that's the case. And so I knew to have this month left as a sacred one. And I have deliberately and prayerfully this to help you all with the mental health and wellness. I'll never get off of the mental health and wellness part, because I know that is what's really got a lot of us yo-yoing as far as how to eat to live. That's what really truly has a lot of us really struggling, is because a lot of us didn't have the example. And this is the reason why you hear me mentioning this for those of us who have these platforms, including myself, how important it is not to make it seem like this is so hard and so impossible and so this and so that, and I'm struggling, you struggling. You can't be struggling just every day and you have the answers. That means that you're not applying the knowledge. And that means that you're allowing the cares of life to weigh you down. Now, who could say that more than someone that has lost those that are close to them? I believe that I'm somewhat qualified to say that. I had to bounce back. I was forced to in an evil way, but then I had to do it for myself, because I knew that I had other children that were watching me, wondering how is it that mama's going to process this? How is she going? They're learning from me, just like I learned from my mother and my father. They're learning, so I had to remember that still got all eyes on me. Even if I hadn't come before you all, I had some eyes on me, and I accepted that responsibility, not knowing that when I birthed them that this was going to happen at this particular time. So I chose, with the help of God, I chose strength. I chose to say that everything was going to be all right, that life goes on, that it's our turn now. It's our turn to get to where they were going. It's our turn. And that's all it is. It's just your turn. It's your turn to be the light that shines. It's your turn to be the one to say, you know what? I can be healthy as possible. I can be good. I can be kind. I can be loving. I can be long suffering. I can be who God has created me to be, and not make no excuses about it. I know, sounds more good. It sounds more easy said than done. I get it. I know. And I'm not saying that it's easy. And I'm not saying it's easy. I promise y'all, I know myself. I'll speak for myself, so some of y'all not tuning in for the questions yet. Let me make sure that I put this in before I go there. I am one that I can sit back, and some of y'all have seen me do it. I know y'all have. I know y'all smart. I can just sit back and just be silent and with a straight face at times. And I had to be forced to learn how to do that even better, because I used to be a time when I would just laugh if I saw or heard something ridiculous or something that just was not fair and I knew it wasn't, or I knew it was untrue. Um, and 1 second here, I'm almost done, y'all. And so I just sit there and be thinking in my head, like, be glad when this is over with. Or you ever been one to sit back and you see a person clowning and they just really just acting out. And you just sit there and just look at them. Like, devil, you adversary, you're not going to get me today. That's how we got to, that's what we got to tell ourselves when facing this ugly, mean old world that we have to face every day. Some of us have to face it every day. You're blessed if you can work from home and do something that can make you a living. And I know it's challenging. I know personally myself, there are those who say, yeah, you can go. They really think that life is only about getting degrees and only about working a 9 to 5 because they want you to have more so they can take more from you. Not for you to have more, but so that they can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Did you hear what I said? They want you to do more so that they can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Not for you to. And so I understand how challenging that it can be, you all. On this Wellness Wednesday, I promise you I can. And so because I know how, I'm so glad I can think of something to say, you all, because I see you all just loudly to, I don't know, that maybe have my therapeutic moment, if this being the month, with this being the month of August. Or I don't know if the chat won't allow some to speak back, because I know the one before this did not allow that. And if you're processing what I had to share early on, then I fully understand that too. Motivational Monday once again will be mixed with health and wellness part of things. Unless something else transpired, then I would let you all know. My go-to time would normally be between 5 and 7 p.m. is will be my go-to time. I do have study class today. Remember, I offered the books. I shared the books again. One of them, and not particularly in this order, there's a Dick Gregory book on the natural diet. Folks are for the commoners, for those who wanted. We have the Heal Thyself cookbook as well. Got that one for Diane, if you all can see it. And then we have, this is one of my favorites, The Vitamin and Mineral from A to Z by Jewel Bookham. You all can look back on this and be able to get it. How to eat right for your blood type. I don't recommend you all to take on the meat that would come from that, but I will say that it works on. But by far, the one that I see that works the most for our people, man, I say, drum roll before we get out of here. How to Eat to Live, Part 1, Part 2 by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These are the ones that I personally have seen and personally have experienced the most, that works the most for our people. And the bottom line is that he is saying that the ultimate way of eating and living, initially before we were programmed to eat like others, that's not like us, it was the ultimate way of eating was to eat fruits and vegetations. This is what Eat to Live. So that's the number one book that I recommend for health and wellness. And then once again, for last but not least, those who want to help with me with the building of the channel and also with giving to the homeless and our children, our disabled children, or children with autism, um, you can purchase a bag of sea moss, flake sea moss, that is very powerful with the 102 minerals. Also, for those who want to get a head start on cleansing your colon in a more natural way with the water, 8 ounces of water, 2-3 times throughout the day. You cleanse your colon with that, reduce inflammation, high blood pressure, cancer, tumors, all different types of benefits that comes with that. About 10 different benefits. And then your organic moringa, for those who all don't have it, as you see, I'll open up the seal. This is mine. It's all mine. It's all wise. And so your organic moringa to help with inflammation, hair, skin, gut, tumors, you name it. That's what it does. If you do order, you can always ask me again what it all helps support you all with your health and wellness. But you guys, on that note, I have gone about 10 minutes over and then giving you all your 2 hours. Please like and share. If you cannot support by sending, the Cash App is in the link. If you cannot help by supporting me through the Cash App. Oh, I didn't. I had to rewrite that again. I see I had to put that in again. Then by all means, then by all means, don't forget to say a good, healthy prayer for me and my family, especially during this month. Say a prayer as well that I recover from having to learn about different. Oh, y'all, it's. I'll share that for Motivational Monday. How about that? I'll say that because this is the best month to share this. That God will prick the heart of those who's been evil, that has done wrong and lied and cheated while I was doing a great work. Um, that is something that's still on my heart, you all. And so that I know that know better. That God would press on my heart so I can be able to, I'll admit, so that I can be able to move past that in its fullness because I naturally have a forgiving heart. But some things you just can't forget. And I am honest enough to admit that. Um, and I just put the information in there. Oh, I did have it in there once. Okay, and then for y'all, please don't forget to call or via text that information. And then don't forget, we also have the B12, the powerful B12 for $40, and then your colloidal silver. Until we get more in stock, I do plan on you all and make this announcement, having a new brand stock of immune boosters and things of high blood pressure and diabetes as well. Very, very soon on the market, just like I did with this. But these will be even more affordable, more doable for you all, and give you just, if not the same, even more so of an effect of healing that we need. And those will remain the price that they remain without having to go back and forth. These were bigger, and you had much more in the items that I had. And then as for the multivitamin and as for a mental boost, those are still on back order. It costs far more to get those in stock in this fullness than it did for the smaller things, you all. And so for everyone that thinks to send in a donation, that's very, very helpful. I appreciate it. And I will make sure that I give special thanks to you all in our next segment for Motivational Monday. Y'all keep me in your prayers and remember to have a happy Wellness Wednesday evening on purpose. Know that you are loved and you are appreciated. Bye bye.